Wonderful peace candle. And I know that we cannot say it enough, that peace is always first on my docket every morning in my meditation and in my time of just being, remembering that peace always starts right where we are, and that's why every single week to remind us of that. So let's take a moment or two to just center in where peace begins. And that is with each and every one of us first, and then out. And staying right here, centered in this place that is named peace. But it is more than a name, it is a feeling, it is a vibration. It is a reality, a divine reality within each and every one of us. And I know that as we celebrate peace, never waiting for peace to happen, but to staying right here at the center of peace, allowing it to work through and as each and every one of us. And what I know is that anyone or any place or anything in this world, in this planet, in this universe that needs this peace, I know it to be right here and right now for each and every one of us, each and every one of them. And wherever peace is required, it is met right here in the mind of good that knows no time, knows no space, knows only the power of now. And it is within that that I celebrate the celebration of peace. Right here in this moment and every moment that follows in this entire universe. So with that, I am truly grateful. For that, I am truly blessed. And for that, I call and name it peace. Right here and right now. And with gratitude we say, and so it is. Go ahead.
Send my peace over the mountain. I send my peace over the sea. I send my peace into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. My joy. I send my joy over the mountains. I send my joy over the seas. I send my joy into the heavens, send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me, and it returns, and it returns to me, and it returns, and it returns to me.
Thank you. Thank you,
Mahalo.
Doreen and Doug. Thank you, everyone, for taking that moment and knowing that it's rippling out into the universe. We just threw a beautiful little pebble into the circle of life and sent it out to our brothers and sisters everywhere. So, thank you. So, if you haven't just walked in and you don't know who I am, I'm Rev Rita. This is Doreen and Doug, and this is Rev Patrick. And we're here to just join together today and serve that thing called spirit within each of us. And we practice the science of mind and spirit here if you're here for the first time. And it's just a name for a universal philosophy and teaching that just says that that divine presence, that one light, that one love, source, God, whatever you want to call it, is all that there is. And it is right here, right within each of us, and it is expressing through us in our own amazing, unique way. And the more that we can remember that about ourselves and use that in our lives, that idea of who and what we are, the more our lives unfold in a way that is so powerful. No matter what is going on in our lives, it unfolds from a more powerful place because we know who's coming to that experience, whatever it is. So welcome, and I'm knowing that we're having an amazing, fantastic time together today. Yes.
Yes, it's
All right.
already begun. I can feel it. I can feel it. Now, who is here? And if you're wondering why I'm looking around, because I'm looking for shellets. That's a shellay. There, see, he's going, I'm here. Who's here for the very first time is not afraid to raise their hand to show it? There you go. Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, here's the good news. We have some information on you that we'd like to share with everyone. So you're wondering how we got that information, I bet. But in the meantime, we're going to just let people know what we know, and then we'll let you know how we know. So there we go. Let's let them know who they are. You are magnificent. Yes, you are. Yes, we are. That's what I like. It's called owning your magnificence. Well, I know I can see the look on your face going, how did they know that I was magnificent? Well, I'll tell you how we knew, because we knew that about ourselves first. And so because we know it, we look at you, and then we see what we see, which is magnificent. So let's all say it together, shall we? I am magnificent. Now, if you thought that couldn't get any better, it does. Not only in this room, but we are projecting ourselves out into the mainland, into the world, and letting everybody know who you are and who we are. So Rob is back there with this thing called live streaming.
Yes.
And so what that is that, see the little camera going around? Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Now here's the deal. If you were at a place where you were going, well, nobody even knows I'm here, guess what? Hi, aloha.
Aloha.
So there's a whole bunch of people watching us, and they need to know who they are, shall we?
Yes.
You are magnificent. Now, look to your left, to your right. I don't care where you look. Just let somebody know who they are. Oh, wait.
I want to say hi to Walt when we're done.
There we go. Wow, listen to that rumbling and jumbling. You're magnificent. You're magnificent. Karen Tilley's magnificent, I know
You
that.
are magnificent.
And let me see. Oh, thank you, back at you. Okay, let's everybody get up on your magnificent feet. And we're going to have our opening song. It is in your program. Don't be afraid to look at it. Say, oh, no, it's not. It's right here on Modern Technology.
If you can see it.
So you got choices.
You got choices.
There is beauty in the world. So much beauty in the world, always beauty in the world. So much beauty in the world, there is beauty in the world. So much beauty in the world, always beauty in the world. So much beauty in the world. When I look around, I see blue skies, I see butterflies for eyes. Listen to the sound and lose it, it's sweet music. Now dance with me, there is beauty in the world. So much beauty in the world, always beauty in the world. So much beauty in the world, there is beauty in the world. So much beauty in the world, always beauty in the world. So much beauty in the world.
So just put your hands on your heart right now, and let's feel that beautiful, beautiful heartbeat. That wonderful thing that says, I am that I am alive. And that's what I know about this room. We are definitely alive. We are vibrating at the frequency of the divine. And that we celebrate. We have come together on purpose, on definite purpose, to remember who and what we are in every moment. And that is good, that is God. You call it whatever you want, because it needs no name. It is all names. It is the I am that I am. And that I celebrate. I celebrate each and every one of us, our consciousness going out of this building, out into the world, screaming out with absolute ecstasy, saying, I am beautiful. Say it with me. I am beautiful. And we take that into this service and we say, yes, yes, yes. And we let it go, we let it be, as together we say, and so it is.
When I look around, I see blue skies, I see butterflies for eyes. Listen to the sound and lose it, it's sweet music. Now dance with me, let's clap, here we go. Clap, 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 woo! Yeah, keep clapping, woo! Yeah. In the world, so much beauty in the world, always beauty in the world. So much beauty in the world, there is beauty in the world. So much beauty in the world, always beauty in the world. So much beauty in the world, there is beauty in the world. So much beauty in the world, always beauty in the world. So much beauty in the world. Woo!
Morning aerobics, it's beautiful.
All right, we take that beautiful, beautiful feeling and we'll just bring it down into our seats as we settle in for a bit of meditation. My name is Michelle LeMay, and I'm a licensed practitioner here, and I'm going to lead us into meditation. So I invite you to just take a couple of deep breaths, still bringing in all this beauty and excitement and feeling and clapping, bringing all that within. And as we take another deep breath, I invite you to leave your eyes open if that feels more comfortable, or close them if that feels good to you, knowing that this is a safe, beautiful place and that all we have is this moment. I'll lead you with a seed thought from George Washington. If we do not lay out ourselves in the service of humankind, whom shall we serve? If we do not lay out ourselves in the service of humankind, whom shall we serve? If we do not lay out ourselves in the service of humankind, whom shall we serve? As the guitar and the bowls and my voice reaches you, knowing that this inner space is always available, this inner God light is here in each and every moment. For that is always where God is right here and right now. This spirit, this love energy, this energy of service is always here, through, as, and in everything, seen and unseen. And since I know this, I know that this same energy courses through me as a divine expression. And because I know this for myself, I know the same truth for each and every person in this room, online, on this island, and everywhere on this planet and this universe. Knowing that each and every one of us is a divine expression showing up as sacred service, as ourselves. And I am knowing that this sacred service, we serve within ourselves first. And it goes out into all areas of life. This service shows up in harmonious relationships with ourselves and others, family, friends, community, the world at large. I know that this sacred service shows up in health and well-being of our bodies, minds, souls. It's all being of service. And I know the same energy, the same loving, giving, receiving energy of service shows up in our abundance, in prosperity, the giving and receiving. It's all service. And I definitely know that our sacred service shows up in our creative expressions, our individualized, unique expressions that each and every one of us bring into our lives and into the world. For I know that through this service, as we give, we receive. What flows in, flows out. And it's done with love and graciousness and receptivity and acceptivity. And I know that it all flows together. And I'm so grateful for the many demonstrations this shows up, the unique demonstrations, knowing that it's all perfect and it's always in divine flow and in divine timing, no matter what. And anything other than that is wrapped up with love and forgiveness and acceptance and let go, to allow it all to rush in love, for knowing that it's only love. And I release my word as law with a heart full of gratitude, knowing that it is already so. All this and more has already been done in the mind of God. And together, we affirm it. And so it is.
When Doug and I came from Dallas, we were part of the CSL Dallas community. And Michael Gott was a practitioner at the time when I was on staff there as they called it Youth and Family Ministry Director. And so I just really loved who Michael Gott is, and he was the music director there. And then has moved on as a minister now and serves a really large community in Houston. So the song that I want to introduce to you, because this is the month where we stand up and that where we shine our sacred service, this is a song that he wrote. And if you don't know it, we'll learn it together. Here I am, a vessel to be used. Whatever Spirit needs of stand. My heart is here to serve. Wherever love is leading me, I will go, I will go, I will go. That's beautiful. Let's do it one more time. Here I am, a vessel to be used, a vessel to be used. Whatever Spirit needs of me, I will be, I will be, I will be, I will be. Here I stand, here I stand. My heart is here to serve. Wherever love is leading me, I will go, I will go, I will go. Wherever love is leading me, I will go, I will go, I will go. That was beautiful. We will do that again.
Thank you. Someone left their phone. Make sure your phones are off. I don't know if mine's off or not. It's back there somewhere. Wow. This is so good. I'm so grateful that we're doing this month, and to get into that idea of what sacred service means to each of us, because it's individual to each of us. I mean, we're all sacred, so whatever we do is sacred service, whatever is our calling. So today I want to talk a little bit about what Mother Teresa called the call within the call. And I want to start with a quote actually by Jean Houston that really resonated to me. If anybody follows Dr. Jim Lockard's blog, he did a whole series or he's doing a series on Joseph Campbell, but he included this beautiful quote by Jean Houston that just really hits it for me. So, in becoming a hero or a heroine, we undertake the extraordinary task of dying to our current local selves and being reborn to our eternal selves. And then we continue to travel deeper still until we reach the eternal place of sourcing and resourcing. There are two great works for heroes and heroines to perform. The first is to withdraw from everyday life and open ourselves to the inner creative life through which lie our only means of reaching the source. The second work is to return to everyday life, carrying the knowledge we have gained in the depths and putting it to use to redeem time and society. Jean Houston. So, to me, that's the call within the call. The first call has to come from within us. And sometimes, we called our talk today, whom shall I serve or whom shall you serve? And, based on the Bible quote, choose this day whom you shall serve. Me and my house, we shall serve the Lord. And to me, what that means is that we have a lot of things calling out to us to serve them. A lot of things, a lot of ideologies and thoughts and philosophies and people and all kinds of things calling out to us to serve them. Like we embrace things that really have no place in our lives. Things like serving lack, serving all kinds of things that don't serve us. The words escape me right now, but there's different things that we can have call out to us, and we serve them. What happens is they become our master, and then we, instead of who the master is, which is that place within us. So what I found is that I have to go within every day and hear the call from spirit within me, hear the call that tells me what we tell each other every day here, every Sunday here, which is, I am magnificent. I have to hear that call, and I have to hear it really good. And the only way I can hear it is from within myself. Because when I start listening to the other calls of like, maybe you're just gonna, get sick, maybe you're gonna do this, maybe you're gonna be broke, maybe you're gonna blah, 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 all these like horrible things that go into our minds. And to block those calls out, like she said, leave the world and go within where the real sourcing and resourcing is. And what I'm learning from studying more quantum physics, which is really what we teach, as I say every Sunday, we teach this. Now it's being scientifically proven that we're materialists. We are materialists. We look outside and we think that's our reality, when we don't understand that it's all energy and it's all coming from within us and it's all coming from our perceptions of what we're seeing. It's different. I could see one thing and you can see another thing a completely different way, because I'm different than you and I'm unique from you. So it's all looking out there. When we're looking out there, we are looking from within, and the only way we can change what we're looking at is to look from a different place, to change our inner reality. And we're all capable of doing this. And like I said before, we're programmed to think that way, but we can reprogram ourselves, not in a scientific way, but in a spiritual, well, science is spirit, it's all one thing. But we can reprogram. When I use that word reprogram, it sounds like, I go in my brain and I'm gonna fix it. We can reprogram, we can rebirth ourselves, we can recreate ourselves in any moment. And I read this thing and it said, sometimes we wonder why it doesn't work. Sometimes we are creating something, we think we're creating something, and we're wondering why it's not working. And why it's not working is because the 95% of ourselves that's subconscious is really playing havoc with our conscious. The subconscious is going to rule out. It's going to rule out no matter what. So what we need to do, like I keep saying, is go in and clear that out. Clear that out with the loving, beautiful, amazing idea of who and what we are in every single solitary moment. We are that power and that energy and that source, and we can do anything. There is not any obstacle that is in our life that cannot be overcome by this beautiful source. I know this is the truth. And once we know that, then we're stepping into the world with knowing who we are, and we'll be called to the places that we need to be called to. Like this morning. I woke up and I was in a deep meditation, as I always do every morning, and I heard a large sound coming from the back room. And all of a sudden jarred me out, and I heard Patrick screaming, "Get the tongs, get the tongs." And if you live in Kauai, you know what that means. But in my meditation, I had saying, where can I serve today? What can I do? Well, that was my first place of service, to go and save my husband from he was saving himself just fine, but he needed a little help from me. And so, I guess the point I'm trying to make in all of this, we know it, we love those centipedes, is that we don't know where we're going to be called. It could be something like that. Now, do I discount that? Because I had just said, let it show up for me in any way that it needs to show up, where I know where I need to be, so I know that it comes from the source. And so there I am in doing that. And then the next minute, there's another knock on the door, and the gentleman that lives across the street had made his transition. And we don't know him really well, but his wife, she needed somebody to pray with her, and she asked us to come over and pray with her. I'm going to tell you, if you wake up to who you truly are, miracles will come to you. You'll know where you're supposed to be. You'll know. It'll just come to you. But you can't be in that place if we don't work on the self first. Mother Teresa, we watched this movie you're going to watch at the end of the month. What was really struck me about it was the idea of the call within the call, and how persistent she was. How persistent she was for what she wanted to accomplish in this life. And she did not let anything deter her. Nothing. People making her wait, telling her no. And she started from where she was. She didn't start with a big like church ministry, whatever. She started on the streets, just feeding one person. That's how it starts. It's so beautiful when we listen. And she could not be deterred. And she called it her call within her call, because they kept telling her to go back to the convent. She didn't want to go back to the convent. She wanted to be on the street with the people, and that's where she was. And then look what happened. She's got a ministry now. She's not here anymore with us, but she's got a ministry in 100 countries and thousands of people helping the poor and destitute and giving their love. It's just like amazing what can happen for us if we just start here first and listen, really listen to what we're hearing and really open ourselves up, because it might not be what we think it's going to be. There's a plan within a plan, and it's coming from within us. It's not coming from some outside source. You know we don't believe in an outside source in this teaching. We know that everything comes from within us. So when we ask for to be led and guided, we're asking for that highest part of ourselves to lead and guide us where we need to put our feet and go, and we need to start right where we are. So, as we start this month of sacred service is already a done deal because you are sacred. So now, and many of us know already where we are and where we want to be. We're mothers, we're teachers, we're accountants, we're whatever we are, retired people living our life to the fullest, and we're always in sacred service. It doesn't really matter, but just to know that if we can get in contact with that place within us first and allow it to lead and guide and direct our path, we'll end up just where we need to be in just the right moment, with a centipede or with a beautiful transition of someone. I mean, you just don't know. The scope is just amazing. So I'm going to read that quote again before I close. And in becoming a hero or a heroine, which we all are, we're all heroes and heroines, we undertake the extraordinary task of dying to our current local selves. We have to die to ourselves, that place that's attached to the outside, all right? And be reborn to our eternal selves, that place that's within our hearts, within our souls. And then we continue to travel deeper still until we reach the eternal place of sourcing and resourcing, because that's where it all comes from. We're sourcing and resourcing from that eternal place that's unlimited. It can do anything through us. There are two great works for heroes and heroines to perform. The first is to withdraw from everyday life and open ourselves to the inner creative life through which lie our only means of reaching the source. There it is in the heart, that creative place that's just intuiting through us. The second work is to return to everyday life, carrying the knowledge we have gained in the depths and putting it to use to redeem time and society. I can't think of a better time on our planet right now for us all to get in touch with that and go out there and redeem society in any way that it needs redeeming. And it probably is right where it needs to be, but there's something for us to do. And I know each one of us has that something that is ours to do, and that we follow that path. And I'm so grateful for each and every person here that I know, and I look out at all of you and I know your truth. I mean, I know what you're doing in this world and how you're bringing yourself to this world. So I say, just keep at it, have at it. And so it is. Okay.
Keep at it. Have at it.
Maybe I can never house the homeless, rid the streets of violence and crime, make the world a safe place for our children. But I will try. Maybe I can never end world hunger, chase every warplane from the sky, do away with ignorance and hatred. But I will try.
Sometimes I feel so helpless whenever I do my best. But even the longest journey begins with a single step.
Maybe I won't always be forgiving, give my wildest dreams the wings to fly. Maybe I won't always love my neighbor, but I will try.
Sometimes I feel so helpless, but I'm gonna do my best. 'Cause even the longest journey begins with a single step.
Maybe I won't always be forgiving, I'll give my wildest dreams the wings to fly. Maybe I won't always love my neighbor, but I will try. I will try.
I will try, I will try. I will try, I will try. Do it anyway. Do it
Trying to help
anyway.
each other.
Do it anyway.
We can try to help each other. We're all sisters and brothers. We're all sisters and brothers. No, it doesn't take much. No, it doesn't take much. Let's rise up and serve. Let's rise up and serve. Lend your heart and hand. Lend your heart and hand. Love is all you need. 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 Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Thank you.
Mahalo. Do it anyway. I love that one lyric that said, sometimes I feel helpless when I'm doing my best. Have you ever been there? Yeah. Hands up. Yeah, that's the hardest part for us sometimes. It's like, not only, do we feel helpless, which happens, but it's like, but I'm doing my best. And that's what you kind of, it's a double whammy type thing, right? But we have to do it anyway. We have to get through it anyway, right? Because what's the alternative? There isn't one, as far as I'm concerned. But yet I've taken a few of those alternatives in my day. So before we get started, we need some clarification about tongues. Not thongs, tongues. Oh, this front row is something else. Okay, so I did shout out a little bit of tongues. Because I'm not even going to defend it because I was screaming like you wouldn't believe it. I am going to say, tongues, tongues. What? I'm in the middle of meditation. Tongues! Yes. Yeah, it was, love those centipedes. But, and I have to, I was just telling Rita, because it always comes back to me, right? Because I was telling her, I said, it's so weird. Like yesterday, I was thinking, I've been here all these years, and I've never been bit by a centipede. And I'm like, I'd go, delete, 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 delete. Yeah. And so there it was for me to know that I'm still not going to be. And so, but then after that, after all that, I had the absolute, as some of our friends and neighbors have had to, the absolute honor. The honor to witness life and the celebration of it. And wow, I'm looking, I'm going, I was right in the middle of doing my stuff, you know? And then life knocks on your door and gives you an opportunity to stand in spirit and stand in love and just arrive and be there. So I just wanted to recognize that and just say yes, as our dear friend and dear fellow spiritual being takes his flight and takes his incredible journey, and that we had the opportunity to be there with him and with them. Wow. So today's about sacred service. Hello. How much more sacred service? It was one of those things, too, the divine, how it works. Because I had met somebody in hospice that happened to know Rita and I, and it was all just this divine flow. So do it anyway. Trust it. It works. Because if she hadn't known that we lived across the street, which we just saw her yesterday, she wouldn't have made the phone call this morning that said, please go over there, blah, 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 blah. You know, we don't know what kind of kooky religion they are, but there's something. I know they have like this thing on their car, and it says, you know, Centers for Spiritual Living. So whatever it is, it's okay for right now. Just remember, we're always called last. Just remember. So you can call us first. So Ralph Waldo Emerson says, nothing is at last sacred but the integrity of your own mind. Nothing is at last sacred but the integrity of your own mind. And that is who I honor. That is who I honor right here and right now. The nature of our own being. How great is that? Well, I was, you know, I always have to say this because I was an altar boy, and I did have, you know, who do I serve? I served this incredible, I don't know who he was, but I honored him, and I'm thinking to myself, was that serving or was that worshiping? And I think I was taught to worship. And that didn't work too well for me. I don't know about you, but worship takes the whole thing out of it for me. But serving brings me alive. There's nothing I really truly want to worship, but I truly want to serve that part of me in this world that we live in. Oh my goodness. I have a couple Jesus references just because. I was thinking of this, what came, because when you're raised as a Catholic and you're also an altar boy, you have all these little things that never go away, just so you'll know. They just never go away. They're always in there. So I was thinking of this time, but I love modernizing it, when they were talking to Jesus about a whole bunch of things. They asked him, it was perfect time because it's tax time, asked him whether it was right to pay taxes. And they were waiting for the answer because it was like trick question. If he says, yes, it is okay, then all of his followers are like going, boo! But if he says the other thing, they'll say, arrest him. So here's what he said. Who's on the coin? Who's on that coin that you want? Who's on it? I'm sure he said it like that too. Your way I always think of him is, who said it? But I don't think so, man. I think he's like, who's on the coin? Who's on the coin? Caesar. Well, then give Caesar what's Caesar's. Let him have it, man. It's his coin. But I'd like you to come over to my universal bank and see what's happening over there. Because that's that. I wish I had these metaphors when I was young. I wouldn't have looked at it so literal and so crazy making. But here it is. Give him what's his. I love that idea. We live in a world, as Rita was saying, all that stuff out there. Okay, we know it's there. We live in it, but there's something even deeper. There's the nature of our being that is so powerful. Then they go on to say, and then they're confused because they're like, oh, he said give it Caesar. Okay, he's not a rebel, or is he a rebel? So he got them all like, wow, paradigm shift, right? So then he says, another part of that reference is, who is your authority? And I love this because we get this in our own life, and I get it from myself, I speak. Who gave you the authority to do this? Who gave you the authority to do miracles? Who is that, huh? And that's how they are, like little bullies. Who, Jesus? And then they say, who told you that you could act like this? Oh my God, story of my life. Oh my God, try being a minister. Who told you you could act like this? Oh, did Patrick lose his temper, Reverend? It's like, who told you you could act like this? There'll be a chapter in the book. Who told you you could act like this? Then why do you act the way you do? How do you justify what you do? And this is the best, because it's such a beautiful, delicious lie. No man ever is his own ultimate authority. No man, no woman, you can never be your own authority. And I'm here to say, got some time. I'm here to say, I am my own authority. I am. And why am I? Because this God, and I wrote this in a wonderful little section, since I'm not quoting anybody else, I just quote me. This is what I wrote. Life source does not require me to serve, worship, beg, negotiate, bargain, or be less of me to worship a God outside of myself in order to have God's love. I will repeat that again because I can. Life source does not require me to serve, worship, beg, negotiate, bargain, or be less of me to worship a God outside myself in order to have God's love. I don't need to worship anything. I am God's love. I am love. Each and every one of us is love. That is our identity. That's our nature. That's who we are. We're just like that beautiful nature out there. We have someone says, where's your church? Man, my church is right here. That's my temple. This is my sanctuary. This is your sanctuary. We come here because we love blending our vibrations together. But that thing called life, that thing called power, that thing that loves this body until it doesn't any longer. I witnessed that this morning. Oh my God, he's not gone. He's not gone. But I did get to see, wow, I have made an honor of this thing. I have worshiped this as though it was the thing. I got fire today. There's passion about this. This is good news. This is good news. Whew. And not only if that wasn't the best news ever, Then we're given this unseen thing that everybody's been trying to figure out since the very beginning, the law. And then people go, I don't really like the word law. Guess what? I don't care. Because let me tell you what the law is. It is your best friend. And guess what it also is? I get to be the master, not a cruel master. And it doesn't care how I've said it a million times. It doesn't care if I say, do it now, or will you please do it now? It doesn't care, because it does what? It only does what is required of it, because it's a part of who we are. It is nature. Nature doesn't sit there and go, mangoes today or no mangoes. It just says, I'm creative force. Let me move through and as. That's who we are. Wow. I still keep reflecting back on what an honor this morning was. Oh. Life is so good to us. And it's not only that, and this feeling of sadness, or this feeling of emotional, isn't something to be like, oh, I'm so sad. No, it's to say, no, honor it. I asked somebody and I said today, cry, cry, cry. I talked to someone the other day, when's the last time you cried? I don't remember. Oh my God. But I laughed a lot. Why? Because laughing is an acceptable behavior in our programming in our society. It's okay to laugh, because when somebody cries, what do? I got to fix it. Dun, 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 dun. You know, oh my God, they're crying. Stop it. Stop, stop. No, no. What am I going to do? Nothing. Cry with them. Oh. It's like a dam of just breaking open. And the reason that crying is sometimes hard is because we're always blocking, always protecting, always making sure, I hope nobody sees my feelings, because if you see my feelings, you're going to take advantage of me. Don't pretend you've never been there. But if we're laughing, we're like, isn't that wonderful? The whole room uproars. But crying, I've never seen a whole room cry, and we're not going to start that today either. But if it were, it were. So I am honoring all of life. That's what today is about. Sacred service everywhere I go. I thought of one more story I want to share with you. I owned a acting studio where I met this beautiful lady here, and I was, how do I say it? Popular. Just give me a moment to remember how popular I really was. I hit Albuquerque like you just cannot believe. They were like, who is he? What is he? He's disguising his acting studio, but it's a ministry. I know it. He's pumping up our self-esteem. Whoa. You know, and all these guys, the guys were all there. You know, in my acting classes, they were like, well, I said, where's your car? Parked it down there. There's still blood from the meat factory that I work in. But I want to know about acting. And they had it with that accent too. But anyway, I digress. Here's the story of that. So then I went back to Los Angeles, where I thought I'd continue my popularity. And there was a lot of people there that were popular. And I lived there before, so I thought I would be like, I owned a studio, man. And they were like, all right. Anyway, moving on. So this is where I ended up, and I have never told this story, so you're the first. Oh, it's live. Anyway, but here's the story about it. I ended up, because of finances, because I worshipped my false gods of the conditions out there and the world of my bank account, I ended up working at a place called Broadband, and it's a place where Rita worked too, but she was in a high position where she was popular. But I needed a little job to keep me busy, so I'm in a warehouse plugging in, what are those things called? Modems, thank you. I can't even remember. I'm trying to block that period. But here it was, plugging in, and I worked for a man named Rick, and he was about 7 foot tall, and he used to call me Gilligan. And he was my skipper. And so he was my boss. He was my boss. She knew she was there, but she was in the offices. But anyway, so I would go to this warehouse, and I remember the doors going open, and I was like, what happened to me? What happened? I was popular. And I remember every day during that time of needing to earn the money, because I false gods before me, and I just did it. But I did it with sacred service. And I'm making a joke of it because I'm so glad it's over. But I went there every day, turning off the key to the ignition, wondering, how the hell this ever happened? How did this man, who still stands before you, just as powerful, was in a warehouse with Skipper and plugging in modems for 8 hours? And I didn't even know what that was, and then doing other kind of manly things that they do in warehouses. And I said to myself, I have to be sacred service, whether I'm working at Taco Bell or working wherever. And I always look back at Rita, and I always keep it kind of like my hush, but I realize that that's a shame button. And I don't have to be shameful, because the same man that was plugging in modems is the same man that's standing here now, but even more of one, because I know how to do sacred service, whether you put me in a warehouse. And I know for a fact that Skipper, who needed a lot of help from Gilligan, I was there for him. I was there. His life was falling apart, and no one ever knew Skipper's life, but Gilligan was there on that island with him. And I look back, and there's such a visual going on, isn't there? So anyway, it was a 3-hour tour. So in closing, I tell that because I want us to remember that there are false gods before us, and to honor the God within us, as us. And no matter where we're placed, whether it's in a warehouse, or if it's screaming out tongues, or if it's the absolute beauty of being able to be with a family and being with the transition of this beautiful, wonderful man, then it's all sacred. And as soon as we get that, I do believe that we will be free. When we are in the cars with the people not doing what we want, when we're in our relationships with people not doing what we want them to do, to remember, oh my God, this is another sacred moment. This is a sacred moment. And I know we want to have it all holy, but sometimes it doesn't look holy, but it's always whole. And it's always complete, no matter what. Nice start to the month, shall we say? So just say with me, just so I can let that minute. A 3-hour tour. Wow. Wow. Namaste. There we go. Disclosure.
This is our time of giving. I am so grateful to be able to give. And whatever you put in our beautiful center that we all are part of, whatever that is, it is a blessing, it is sacred, and we appreciate it so much, and because it comes from your heart and your love, and we know that it comes back to you abundantly, and it goes to do good work in this world. And speaking of that good work, a large portion of our tithe this month is going to Kamalani Playgrounds. So, yay for Make a Difference Day. So let's turn to the program, or look up on the screen for our beautiful affirmation. And let's say it together. I freely and joyously give from the abundance and fullness of my overflowing wealth, knowing my gift goes with love as it touches and blesses Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, my life, and the world. So it is. All right, take it away.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. My abundant, my abundant, my abundant life. My abundant, my abundant, my abundant life. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. One more time, here we go. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day.
And as we continue to celebrate this beautiful day, I celebrate not only what's in this basket, but all of the consciousness that brought it to this basket and goes out, and our beautiful, beautiful people online, and all of the wondrous contributions that are given to this center, but most of all from that place of authority that knows that this center is growing and growing and growing, and we're all a part of this wondrous garden called CSL Kauai. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all of the gifts, as together we say, and so it is. Ooh. So what do other people do on Sunday mornings is what I
I
want
think
to know.
we have some children, do we? Not quite yet? All right, well, we'll take a second then to bring the practitioners that are serving up today. And
Rob will
we
be
have
serving as well. He's
Reverend
back there.
Diane and Roseanne and Stephanie. Thank you for doing that today. You have the opportunity, if something's come up for you during the service or something you want to know more about in your life, to use the power of spiritual mind treatment, which is our affirmative prayer and our modality of healing in Center for Spiritual Living.
see
So
somebody I know.
take advantage of that and allow these beautiful women and Rob back there to nurture you
Is that
and know the
Beckham?
truth for you. And I see some children coming up the aisle. Come on up, guys. This is Janice, our youth director. And that's William behind her, Malia's dad. Look at you. Oh my God, this is beautiful. Okay.
Hi, we had so much fun with these wonderful souls this morning doing paintings to remind ourselves of our magnificence. We practiced giving compliments and then painted a picture we could take home and remind us of our magnificence. Does anyone want to talk about their picture? Want to show your picture?
Want to tell me?
They're shy. This one says, "You are magnificent, God." And this one says, "Dear God, I love you." And what does yours say? Rainbow. We're putting them on the spot a little bit. Anybody else want to say anything? Okay.
Beckham?
Let's say something to them. Let's give them. Oh, wait, Beckham has something to say.
Hi, I did the picture all by myself.
And what else?
No one helped me with the picture, anyone.
And how about your age?
My age is 4.
4 now, he said. There you go.
All right, so let's tell them what we know about them. You ready?
Okay, you ready?
You are amazing. You are perfect.
You are magnificent.
And we love you. Thank you. Thank you, Janice.
Woo, thank you, Janice.
Yay. Oh, that would be great if you joined the band.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you mind her standing there? Or should I move her? No? Okay. All right, great.
Okay, so I guess we're ready, yes?
For our closing song.
Everyone want to stand
Everybody
up
get
and let's have our closing song. Love can move the world.
Love can move the world as the moon in the sky moves the seas. Love can cause the wars to cease. Love can move this world to peace. It's a tide that begins with you and me. Love can move the world like the warmth of the sun moves the trees. Feel the wind of love increase as we move this world to peace. Come love the world with me.
So I give thanks in advance right now for this beautiful day that just continues and continues. And I give thanks for this time that we've had together, this amazing time of lifting to our consciousness and lifting the consciousness of this planet at the same time. I give thanks for this thing called sacred service that lives within each and every one of us in every moment. And I give thanks for all the people who served today. Michelle, as practitioner, the Malama team, Emma, Angela, and Sue Buckley. The live streaming that is so amazing every Sunday. Thank you, Rob Jones and Jonathan Lee, to make sure we're heard. And the bookstore with Peggy, Emma, and Roseanne. And hospitality with Charles and Ron Stover. Thank you, thank you. And flowers by Arlena and Peter, I guess, today. Yes, thank you, thank you. And the collection stewards today were Sue Buckley and Sue Wood. And I thank all the off-island contributors and all of us here today for this amazing energy that we've brought here. And I give total and complete thanks to our beautiful music directors and music ministry, Doug and Doreen, and for Luis over there keeping the beat. Thank you.
Luis!
I know that we are moving and beautifully growing and expanding individually and collectively, and I'm so grateful for that as we just affirm it all together with a big "and so it is."
Love can move the world